Myrtle Beach. I attend Whitney Young Magnet High School. I am a sophomore, and my favorite class is chemistry.
Sanel has spinal muscular atrophy type 2. This is a rare genetic disorder causing progressive weakness of the muscles. And Sanel's type has weakness that starts in the lower body and moves to the upper body. Sanel is wheelchair dependent because of the weakness of his legs. However, he has control in his hands and is able to control his own motorized wheelchair, so he drives it through the halls. He whizzes all over the place. We don't have a speed limit in the halls. We probably should for him.
He knows everyone, including Dr. Walid here at Rabida, and he told me he wanted to meet him one time, and he emailed him, and within 5 minutes he was upstairs to meet him. And he said that's the way it should be, because patients should have first priorities.
And he's also become the Rabida gardener-in-chief.
Yeah, I did. I told Brenda about my garden when we first met, and she thought that was a great idea that we started one, and we just carried on from there, and I showed her pictures, and we still have to go out there and see it.
The watermelon.
Before, yeah.
Yeah.
Did it. I meet a lot of kids here who can't really express themselves. So he was able to, since day one, tell me exactly how he feels about being hospitalized, about his medical condition. It was very nice to meet someone of his age who's really wise. Like, you know.
Erica and I started a garden back in May of 2012 and donated some of the crops, such as lettuce, to the cafeteria. I wanted to start this garden because my mom, she used to be a farmer, and all her stories seemed so interesting of how she used to plant things, and they would taste way better than the ones you find in the grocery store.
It's great that he has this, that he can come out of the hospital and see the lake and how beautiful it is here, and then we get to tend to his garden, and I have even had the pleasure of eating some of the fruits and vegetables that came from his garden.
Strawberries, cabbage, and a tiny watermelon. Let's go back over this way. This is catnip, the things cats love.
Are you ready to go down now? Do you want me to turn it on?
Yeah.
For Sanel's family, because they're hearing impaired, and then there's also a language barrier, we're using 2 different sign language interpreters. We have this American Sign Language interpreter, and then we have the Bosnian interpreter. So when we need to communicate with a family, when we need to do any training, anything, we have to talk to the American Sign Language interpreter, and then the American Sign Language interpreter will communicate with the Bosnian Sign Language interpreter, who then in turn communicates with a family, and then the process goes in reverse. So that the CPR training, we review a lot of emergency scenarios. What if this happens, then what would you do? And if you think about it with them, it's not only what would you do, how will you do it?
So the first day I met him, he had, lots of questions. He was very nervous about the nurses. He wasn't used to them. And so you see him from the day he first came in, where he was very tentative. Sanel today, where, as we all know, he's pretty much running the floor at this point.
One thing that I'll miss about him is that he always makes you feel like he's at home, and this is kind of his home, so it's a bittersweet to see him go, because we always want him to go home with his family, but this feels like his family as well.
My favorite thing about Sanel is his sense of humor. He always has something witty and funny to say, and he's really fun to hang out with.
Yeah. Wow. Kabah. Highway.
Here, what am I
Take it with me. Oh, jeez. Oh. A vote for Sanel. He's really smart.